The Blago scandal is not the only criminal investigation going on in the state of Illinois. Recently, an atheist sign poster near a nativity scene in the state capitol was stolen. Now the anti-religion group is fighting to replace it with a sign that reads, "Thou shalt not steal."
Oh, yeah, you're an atheist, but let's use one of the 10 commandments to prove our point. Joining us now is Mchelle Malkin, syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. All right, Mchelle, you and I are of the same vein on this whole thing. I'm just so enraged by all these atheist displays and trying to push Jesus to the back seat on Christmas Day. Your thoughts on this?
I'm starting to get Christmas wars fatigue. I don't know about you guys, but every year now for the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen these outbursts and these tantrums from people who can't just leave well enough alone and let people enjoy the good cheer of the season. And I think this is really a result of identity politics run amok. Now atheists need their 15 minutes of fame. And, you know, I will not be surprised when we have the next trend, which is these atheists, you know, claiming somehow that they are so indispensable that we need a day without atheists. And I have to say, some of my best friends are atheists. But I think probably the best thing we can do is, I would advise some of the people of faith who are watching this happen in their towns and cities across the country, not to go stealing their signs. You know, let them make fools of themselves in the public square and say a prayer for them.
Yeah, but Mchelle, if you let them do that, then over time they will have the control. That's my point. If you don't stand up and fight for it, it might just disappear. I'm talking about Christianity.
Yeah, that's true. But I think there's also, you know, an alternate view, which is you treat these people like trolls. And that's a phenomenon on the internet where you have people who are simply just attention seekers who are trying to undermine civility and undermine peace. And if you give them attention, it just emboldens them even more.
So wait a second. Are you going to take your own pledge? Swear on a stack of Bibles that you will not give them attention anymore? You think you're going to ignore the atheist movement?
Well, with this phenomenon in particular, and I actually have not blogged this latest spate of all these atheist things and the outburst in Washington, for example. I think making fun of them too and mockery is probably the second best solution. And there was a story the other day that I did write about a woman who wanted to ban Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because she thought that was too Christian. Okay, one of the most secular Christmas carols out there, and she's offended because they mentioned Santa, and now Santa is too religious.
But that is a sad story because Rudolph was never accepted by the others into the end because of the fog.
Yeah, but you know what, Brian? We can all joke about this, but the bottom line is this is serious business, at least to me, Mchelle.
When it comes to Rudolph, there's no kidding.
No, because, I mean, they're going to replace this sign with "Thou shalt not steal." So use a 10 commandment. One of the 10 commandments to prove your point that you're an atheist. That's a complete insult.
Yeah. Let's talk Akon. We have some video. We also have a court decision. He picks up a fan and tosses him 4 rows. What price does Akon have to pay? You'll find out when Mchelle Malkin returns. Pop star Akon, my only true musical hero, pled guilty to harassment charges after throwing a fan off the stage into a crowd last year. All he got was probation and a fine. Kid could have had his neck broken.
Is this a classic case of celebs getting special treatment when they break the law? Joining us again, Mchelle Malkin, syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. All right, so I understand he got 65 hours of community service, and he did actually have the decency to shake this gentleman's hand in the courtroom yesterday. What was better than what he did originally? But what do you think about this punishment?
I think it's obnoxious, and I think that this guy has gotten away with a lot. And what it really does is raise questions about corporate responsibility, because he has won very lucrative sponsorships in the past from companies like Verizon Wireless, despite this continued violent behavior. And I have somewhat of a history with Akon, because a couple of years ago I had done a video report when he assaulted an underage girl at a concert in Trinidad, and there was video leaked of that. I did a report of it, and then his corporate music giant, Universal Music Group, demanded that YouTube yank my video and considered the content of it some sort of copyright infringement. And with the help of a pro bono legal team at the EFF, the Electronic Freedom Foundation, we were able to stave that off, and they put the video back on. But clearly this was a case of this music giant giant looking out for its monetary interests.
Sure.
And Verizon Wireless, which had pulled its sponsorship after that incident, has now apparently put his music back on, even though he's now just pled guilty to another case where he threw a young boy off the stage.
Yeah,
this guy's probably going to get another Grammy for it.
With the first case that you were talking about, he pulled a girl out of the audience and did a simulated sex act on stage, and then his rebuttal was, well, I didn't know she was underage, and he apologized for that, just like he apologized yesterday. He could have broken that kid's neck who he threw, but once again, it's just money talks, baby.
That's right. And he'll end up writing another song about it, thumbing his nose at the law, thumbing his nose at personal responsibility. And really, I really have to question all of these corporate executives who probably have children themselves. I mean, would they want their daughters pulled up on stage and molested the way that this so-called artist does for a living?
Yeah, good point. Hey, Mchelle, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us from Denver today. Merry Christmas to you if we don't see you before next Thursday.
You too, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right.